watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 24th of August. India seeks deeper Japan ties, calls for doubling Japanese companies this decade. India eyes space station by 2035, PM Modi hails space sector rise. And Pakistan puts journalist covering POJK protest under terror watch list. And now for all the details. Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has called for deeper business-to-business cooperation between India and Japan, saying the number of Japanese companies operating in India should double during this decade. Addressing a roundtable with the Japan-India Business Consultative Committee and the Japan Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Japan on Monday, Goyal said there was significant scope to expand the economic partnership between the two countries. Goyal is on a 4-day visit to Japan leading a nearly 200-member business delegation. The visit covers Tokyo, Nagoya and Osaka and focuses on sectors including manufacturing, semiconductors, clean energy, steel, automobiles, healthcare, financial services and startups. He said 2026 has been designated as the India-Japan Year of Shared Horizons to mark 75 years of diplomatic relations. Goyal also invited greater Japanese participation in India's growth journey as New Delhi targets a $30 trillion economy by 2047. As per government data, India-Japan bilateral trade stood at $27.47 billion in financial year 2025-26, with Japanese exports to India at $21.43 billion and Indian exports at $6.04 billion.
I invite all of you to join us, partner with our associations, connect the SMEs from India and Japan, ensure seamless journey to India, and we in government stand committed to work with each and every one of your stakeholders and your companies to make your India story a beautiful success story.
Moving on, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday hailed India's growing global presence in the space sector as the country celebrated its third National Space Day, saying the country has become a magnet for global investors. He credited India's Gen Z engineers, designers, coders and scientists for developing advanced technologies in propulsion, composite materials, rocket stages and satellite platforms. The Prime Minister also highlighted the growing role of private space companies, saying India's space talent is gaining recognition worldwide. Meanwhile, the Indian Space Research Organization Chairman V. Narayan, while speaking in Ahmedabad on Sunday, said India is entering a crucial phase with 8 launch vehicle and 12 satellite missions planned this financial year. He said the first uncrewed Gaganyaan mission could take place within 4 months with around 8,000 tests already completed. Narayanan also announced that India aims to establish its own space station by 2035 with its first module already approved. He said ISRO is simultaneously advancing Gaganyaan, Navik and deep space missions, strengthening India's ambitions to emerge as a leading global space power.
Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, lot of programs are in the pipeline. We are working on the Gaganyaan program, we are working on the further Navy programs, and we have to place a lot of satellites for multiple applications, and we are working for our own space station called Bharat Antariksh Station. The first module is already approved, and then we have to establish the space station by 2035.
And Jamiat Ulema-e-Islam F Chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman has taken a sharp swipe at Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir, recalling the military's defeat and surrender in the 1971 war against India. Addressing a JUIF convention in Peshawar, Rahman mocked the army's big words and chest thumping, recalling how then-President General Yahya Khan had vowed to fight until the end just a day before Pakistani forces surrendered in Dhaka. Rahman said the surrender of 93,000 Pakistani troops in 1971 showed the gap between military rhetoric and reality, contextualizing the military's historic hollow claims with its present day conduct. Rahman questioned why the public is being subjected to such severe hardships while the establishment remains insensitive to their misery. Warning of possible geographical changes, Rahman said decades of violence, oppression, and bloodshed by the Pakistani state could threaten the country's territorial integrity. He urged the establishment to clarify its intentions while warning that continued oppression could have serious consequences for Pakistan. Meanwhile, Pakistan has placed journalist and researcher Danish Irshad on its terrorism watch list. Irshad has extensively reported on protests and the security crackdown in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. We have a report.
Danish Irshad, a journalist, researcher, and author, has reportedly been placed on Pakistan's terrorism watch list, also known as Fourth Schedule. Rawalpindi-based journalist, Danish Irshad, has covered politics and developments in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan for nearly a decade. Irshad's recent reportage has focused heavily on the protests in the illegally occupied region, and he also reported on the security crackdown that followed. According to the materials cited in the reports, he interviewed families whose children were allegedly killed during the crackdown by Pakistani security forces. The move has triggered criticism from journalists, activists, and rights groups. The Human Rights Council of PJK has questioned the legal basis for placing Irshad on the watch list. The rights body said action against journalists merely for reporting, asking critical questions or views that differ from the official narrative could threaten press freedom.
And a retired Hindu school teacher, Ganapati Chakravarti, his wife, daughter, and 12-year-old son have been found dead inside their locked home in Rangpur city of Bangladesh. According to the Rangpur Metropolitan CID, the house was locked from outside and all the lights were reportedly switched off. Police subsequently broke open the lock and entered the house. The bodies were found at different locations inside the residence. Police recovered the bodies late Saturday night from the family's residence. Family members had become concerned after they lost contact with the household. According to relatives, the family's 4 mobile phones had been switched off since Thursday night. The deaths have triggered a probe by local police, the CID, and the detective branch. The circumstances surrounding the incident remain unclear, with investigators yet to establish the exact timeline or motive. Ganapati Chakravarti had retired from Rangpur Zilla School at the end of the last year. Relatives described him as a quiet man with no known enemies. A sea of saffron, holy chants, and massive crowds at Shiva temples across India. The final Monday of the holy month of Shravan was marked with fervor and devotion. Take a look.
Across India, devotees performed Jalabhishek and offered prayers to Lord Shiva as the auspicious Sawan Samwar fasts came to an end. From the early hours of Monday, Shiva temples across India witnessed massive gatherings. Saffron-clad Kanwariyas and pilgrims queued up for darshan, carrying sacred water for Jalabhishek. The faithful offered holy water, milk, honey, and bael leaves to the Shiva lingam.
हाँ बहुत अच्छा दर्शन हुआ है, व्यवस्था भी बहुत अच्छी है, लास्ट सोमवार है, सब लोग व्रत भी हैं, लोग दर्शन भी करें बहुत बढ़िया से और अच्छी तरह से दर्शन हुआ, कोई दिक्कत कोई परेशानी किसी को नहीं.
For many devotees, the day brought the culmination of weeks of fasting, pilgrimage and prayer. The final Sawan Samwar is considered especially auspicious by devotees. Many observed fasts and concluded their religious vows with evening prayers. Temples were decorated with flowers and Rudraksh garlands, while devotees offered prayers and sought blessings for their families. With charity, food distribution, and helping those in need forming part of the day's observances.
और इतनी भीड़ है कि बाबा के लिए भक्त पागल हो चुके हैं, इतने पागल हो गए हैं कि अपने घर वालों के लिए पागल नहीं जितना मेरे बाबा के लिए पागल है. यही हमने दुआ करें कि सारे काशी वासियों का जो बाहर से भक्तगण आए सबका दर्शन सब पूर्वक हो. हमारी प्रशासन भी बहुत अच्छे से दर्शन लोगों को करवा रही है और हम सब शिव भक्त डेली हम लोग प्रतिदिन ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में दर्शन करते हैं.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.